Hello everybody, this is Little. I'm gonna show you a little video to explain about the evolutions in my videos so far, and to give a little quick update about my channel. So first things first, let's get started. Of course, what you're seeing here is my the last page of my reporting drawing video, which I actually have fun making because of this particular page here, which this was actually an afterthought. But I have fun making this solely because of this here, which is a really interesting twist. But I'm here to talk about what makes explain why the evolutions in those videos are so big, why they talk, and probably most of all how powerful they are, which I will show in a minute. And of course, Evie was pretty big too. But as in the games, we know our favorite starter Pokemon. All the Eevees, all the Eeveelings all began like this. But I'm gonna tell you the backstory of what's all this about. People have been wondering that have my evolution drawings so far in the storyline, did they come from Evolution Squad? Well, I'm gonna make this clear right now. My storyline was inspired by the Evolution Squad and the Eevee and Friends sorts, but it has nothing to do with Evolution Squad. Sure, there are references, of course, having the Pokemon able to talk and everything. And in fact, like for example, as you may have guessed from my last video, as I said before, like I even named them after them, but those are just nicknames of myself calling them. They don't actually have a names, they just go Super Vaporeon, Super Flareon, Super Jolteon, Super Eevee, and so on. And I'll explain about that. I know you all wondering, what's the answer? What makes them so big? Well, let me tell you the backstory. My character cell, I would not draw that up in art, but I will explain it. My character self had went to a cave, an abandoned cave, in a distant land, and I found 9 Eevee eggs, and of course one by one has them into baby Eevees. And the parents are nowhere to be found. But and then I raised them, and of course all of them except one evolved into Eevees, all the Eevees that we all know as of now. But this big size you see here, which is far bigger than the how the media displays them, whether it's from a fan or the video game will animate. But this huge size, from my Super Jolteon, for example, and that goes for the other guys. The big size based on my storyline is they come from a extremely rare gene that comes to the evolutions every 50 or 100 years, and it caused them to grow in such an enormous size, like on par with a liger, if not taller, and it makes them able to have intelligence exactly the same as humans, so they talk entirely like another person, and not only that they're large, they're also much physically stronger, and their attacks, the special attacks like the fire and the lightning, ice, all much more powerful as well. Therefore, they're all of them are just as strong as a legendary Pokemon, to be exact. And because I trained them into such high levels, well, first of all, my character in that part of the store is actually a Pokemon champion, so this isn't a big deal here. So all the Eevees, including Eevee, they pack a serious punch. But my character don't have much to fear. Well, maybe, except the case with Jolteon, but especially Sylveon, because Sylveon is the one that my character self fears. But Jolteon my character do have to pay attention because electricity. And let me tell you a little fun fact. While my channel's thumbnail is a lightning bolt, I study weather, lightning, but in real life I'm actually scared of lightning. So kinda, even though I study it, so that's like a little mix between, and it also represents my character's strength, because obviously I share very much some of the same powers as this legendary fighter right here, Goku, and which in my backstory is one of my teachers. Well, one of my teachers, which I will explain the whole thing of that in a future drawing, but I'm not doing that right this current time. So bear with me on that. But my character myself is definitely took very much a lot of stuff in him, but he is the one who taught me. He's my teacher. But back to the thing. I will get to future one. I will show you in drawings. Show myself against one-on-one fights with every evolution, and see how they fare against me. But which I think will be fun. Which I think is especially true for Sylveon. But all evolutions will be involved in this, with including Jolteon, Flareon, Umbreon, you know it. But I was like, definitely, but they're definitely not to be taken lightly, because remember, they are high level Pokemon here, and as I said before, they all is power. Every one of them is powerful as legendary Pokemon. So I really imagine fighting them as a group. That certainly won't be easy for me. But hey, I try. Because I have been with other characters, which I will show in the future. But seriously though, imagine if you see an Espeon or any other evolution in this size. Imagine if you see one in person and it jumps up on you. And just keep in mind, I'm 5'8". Let me show you a little example. Okay, now that my camera is exactly as high as my head, right? And then look down. So imagine if you see an evolution at this size, like about, say like about here at the head, or maybe up here. So that's in the sitting or stand position. That's huge. Imagine that in person. Which, in fact, that's one of the main reasons why they are this size is from a dream I had of a shiny Glaceon. female glacier like this big and counting from a forest. And I also had a second dream that had mostly evens except Evie in that size as well, like Liger or sometimes Liger size for the most part, or sometimes even taller, which is a really cool dream but crazy at the same time. Now remember my Espeon video, this here, the last page. Remember I made that little joke saying that my Espeon saying that it's big enough that I could eat me, even though it won't, because you know Pokemon's friendly. In fact, all my evolutions are very friendly because obviously I took care of them. I raised them like a. Well, actually, I am their father because I raised them as babies. And seeing a big super predator like this, giant cat-like creatures. But this would be really fun to do. Now, drawing them is not easy task. I'm being serious with you guys. It's not easy, but I think it's worth it just to show it for you guys. A little fun. Because fan art always allows you to do stuff when you want to show for others. And besides, who doesn't want to show? Believe me, I know all you Evelyn's fans. Who just doesn't want to have a hug and kiss with your favorite evolutions? I'm sure anybody would love to try this, for real. I just think it's cute and adorable, and it's really fun to the imagination. But I am really serious, guys. I want you to guess. Guessing. I want you to guess. Feel free to ask in the comments. What do you think? Why do you think? Why I am scared of Sylveon? Because we all know how broken Sylveon is in the anime. So I want you guys to probably guess why I am scared of that evolution. Because there is a reason. It's adorable, but it's deadly. So, try to guess that out. Because I will eventually reveal that. Now, for the little update of my channel, if you guys remember, the evolutions I have left to do are Leafeon, Sylveon, and Glaceon. Now, in the order I am planning to do, Leafeon is next, which I'm sure one friend of mine in the YouTube channels is definitely going to be excited for this. But evolution training inside, please be patient with me, man. I know you want to see this, and of course other Leafeon fans out there, but bear with me real quick because I'm gonna be taking a break from doing evolution drawings, which I'm sorry guys, because I don't want to be too repetitive. I had to try something different to keep my channel interested in, because I'm starting to think I'm getting overlooked. I'm starting to think I'm getting overlooked, so I'm gonna try to do something different based on the stuff I used to do in Miiverse. Because you gotta remember, I used to do something like this. Because this is actually one of the this here is a drawing based on the Floods I Chase that I used to do in Miiverse. One of the 2 comics that I did. Because I already made a video about some old some of my old Miiverse thing, which I recommend you should look at to the end. But if you guys don't figure this out yet, yes, this is a pipe frame from the original Mario Kart game, but slightly different because there are 2 exhausts here. But this is an original pipe frame from the first Mario Kart, so a little old school. But trust me, in my story, the ponies are faster than you look, and that's especially true with Fluttershy and even Princess Cadance. And of course, you can figure out I can draw cards too, like the General Lee, the $69 charging. But there is one drawing that I had done, but it's for a scratch video. If I do reconsider, I will try to make it for you guys. But right now it's scratched. But I do have one unique drawing that I want to show you all. So here it is. See this here? This is a scene that I originally planned for My Little Pony Meets General Lee, but that was cut because because in the one when I did Miiverse, I didn't have plans, didn't have no time to do it, or Miiverse was strict. I couldn't get the time done or something like that. But this drawing, this is actually the Super General Lee in Daytona form as I was testing it, and because I made the chart so much faster and everything, way quicker than the original General Lee cars. This is it in a racetrack somewhere in Sweden, Albert Acres, that's capable of making it able to go this fast. But seeing the date here as I do in every drawing, yes, I did this in May, so this is cut. But if I change my mind, I will make more. But right now, that's just cut. But this just show you guys, I don't do just evolution drawings. I can draw a car or anything else like that. I just had to be in the mood. But believe me, this is not easy. Trust me on that one. I don't think anybody remembers this since Miiverse is gone. Because I don't think anybody remembers me from Miiverse anymore. But this here was my profile picture during when Miiverse was around. If you don't figure out here, this sword here, that's actually the Master Sword from Zelda, believe it or not. And of course, see the lightning, which explains another reason why it explains my thumbnail. But there are more than just that. But I will show you some ones I didn't show in my original video. Of course, you remember this, and you remember this, but you had never seen this, or this. Don't that style look familiar? This, or this, or even this. This is not Hello Kitty, by the way. This is actually Mimi. Yep, that's right. I drew Mimi actually punching a monster. Yeah, and I bet you never see this coming. But I'm not kidding about the stuff I'm saying about Miiverse. So I really was an artist on there. So the drawings that you see in the video, that's just from experience coming from this. And to be serious, in my backstory, guess who was my BFF? Queen the Rabbit. So now, So now you guys are probably wondering who I'm going to be drawing next. Well, take a wild guess from this drawing. Shouldn't be hard to figure out. That's right. She, Avalon, is next. So if you guys like My Little Pony Friends in Magic, well, wait no longer. So Evolution fans, sorry for you guys gonna have to wait a little bit, but I'm gonna try something different. So bear with me. But this sketch right here, you know how from April, you know how hard it is you know how difficult it is to do all this. All this is the inside of the Super General Lee. I do the steering wheel, the speedometer, wipers, even the roll bar, and these harness seatbelts that's on me and Avalon. Because, in fact, when I did the My Little Pony Miss General Lee, I actually drew the scenes like this a lot. So that was this is pretty darn tricky, but hopefully it's worth it for you guys. So I might do this in the future, do it again this time, so the full thing like I once did. But yeah, I just want to tell you guys what the Super Evolutions was that about, and real fast updates of the drawings to come. So yeah, that's what's going on. So if you guys like my video, give it a like. Feel free to subscribe. See you next time. Have a nice day.